Hello, everyone. It's Leslie Spees. Just a couple of weeks until my new book, From Hot Mess to God's Best, Decluttering Your Mess to Be Your Best, is going to be released. I'm really excited. So my book is about 12 of the most common strongholds or negative mindsets that hold us back in our lives. So I thought I'd share what those are. Feeling like you're not enough, comparison and jealousy, control, the 2 P's, perfectionism and people-pleasing, guilt and shame, the fearsome foursome, so that's fear, worry, stress, and anxiety, worldly focus, rejection, pride, anger and bitterness, unhealthy mindsets, which covers a couple things, and disappointment. So which is most relevant to you? I can say that I've probably hit on most of them throughout my life. But one of the ones that's been most persistent is comparison. So I wanted to talk a little bit about it. So when does comparison rear its ugly head in our lives? I think it's pretty darn early. I remember comparing myself to Cindy Brady from the Brady Bunch and wondering why I didn't have blonde hair and blue eyes and cute ponytails way back. And I had a friend that had a really cool baby doll, indoor pool, and a speaker system. And I wondered, why does she have all the cool stuff and not me? So just some examples of early on comparison. And I've compared myself on just about every category over the years. So we compare ourselves on our intelligence, our parenting, our body, our appearance, our achievements, our careers, our material possessions. There's an infinite number of categories. And never has comparison been as prevalent as with the emergence of social media, which really fuels the fire of comparison. So now the Joneses are in our face all the time. We can see their perfect kids, their wonderful house, their fabulous vacations, and it's hard not to compare yourself. And comparison, started very early on in history. I mean, think of all the Bible stories, and they never ended well. So we have Rachel and Leah, Cain and Abel, Joseph and his brothers, all with very bad endings. So comparison and the resulting jealousy don't usually have any kind of positive outcome. So we compare our circumstances and abilities with others and think, never could I do it like he or she does. And you know what? We weren't meant to. We were all given gifts and talents to bring into the world and to do God's work with, and we're supposed to use those. It would be a really boring world if we all had the same gifts and talents, and we wouldn't have, nearly the amount of beauty and technology and all of the things that we have in the world today if everyone had the same gifts and talents. So we should really focus on what we've been given by God and try to use those in the world. So I'm going to share 5 strategies for helping to overcome comparison in your life. I'm probably going to have to look at my notes. So if you see me look down, that's what I'm doing. So number 1, become aware of and avoid your triggers. So we all have triggers that cause us to compare. Social media is a big one for most of us. So, maybe minimizing time on that might be a good strategy. If you drive through a neighborhood on your way home from work that has really nice houses and you start thinking you need a nicer house and feeling bad about yourself, then maybe you don't drive that way from work. If you have a friend that's always bragging about her kids' achievements and it makes you feel bad about yours, then maybe distance yourself a little bit, or maybe have a conversation with her and say, hey, this makes me feel bad. Just really figure out what your triggers are and try to avoid those, because that's going to help you when you have the urge to compare. Number 2, remind yourself that you can't use a person's outward appearance to judge the reality of their lives. So most people do not put the negative stuff out there. They carefully craft their social media and public personas to show only the positive. We don't know really the reality of their life or what they're struggling with, and we're all fighting battles. So keep that in mind when you have the urge to compare. Count your blessings. So practicing gratitude is a great strategy, focusing on being grateful for what you do have and not focusing on what you don't have. Love your neighbor. We can't love people well when we're too busy trying to measure our value by what they are doing. So maybe even compliment other people. If you feel a twinge of jealousy over a promotion or somebody who's lost weight, compliment them. It's going to make you feel better and it's going to make them feel good. And then I talked about the gifts and talents that we've been given. So really focus on your gifts and talents. If you're not sure what those are, then, spend some time, trying to identify those and figure out how you can apply them in the world. Maybe even make a list and put it somewhere visible to remind yourself of the gifts and talents that you've been given. And really, the final thing is just to keep your eyes on the Lord. And really, try to be content and free from comparison, because we know that He's there for us and has a great design for our lives. So I hope this has been helpful. My book is now available for pre-order on my website. It's lesliespees.com. You go to the store. I've got a special on it. If you're able to attend the book signing events, which are coming up, there'll be more freebies if you purchase it there. But if you can't make it, then certainly please go ahead and purchase. I have lots of books in my possession, and I would love to sell some of them. So thank you for listening. Everybody have a great day.